You are about to enter the court of Judge. People are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge.
Welcome to another heated episode of Judge, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 5 of season 2. And boy, oh boy, do we ever have a special treat for all of you. This is true. This is true. We have the age-old argument that dates back to the 1800s. Is that lovely vegetable that we grow around Halloween, that plump orange motherfucker, is he a monster? Or is he just something that we enjoy and eat around Halloween? Is he a monster or is he not? What are we going to accomplish tonight? What do you guys think we're going to accomplish tonight, ladies and gentlemen? We have the prosecutor who is suing our defendant. Map of Tasmania is suing Nugget inside for thinking that a pumpkin is a monster. Unfortunately, poor old Nugget had to bail from his presentation, so he has appointed SpyCalibur here to argue in his defense. Let's hear what each side has to say. How this is gonna work is we're gonna hear a little bit of an introduction from each side and what they hope to accomplish, and then we're gonna let them do their presentations, prove their points, prove their arguments, and once each side has proven their points and their arguments, we will then have the opportunity to open it up for you, the jury, to ask them questions. I could ask them questions as well. And other than that, we'll put a poll to Twitch chat to see who did the argument better. Without further ado, let's go to the right and hear from Map of Tasmania. Who are you and what do you hope to accomplish here tonight?
Yeah, I'm Map, and I hope to convince you all that the position that it was supposed to be Nugget, but now Spy is taking that Pumpkin is a monster, is ridiculous.
All right, and let's go to the left. I know you're representing Nugget. Would you like to introduce yourself and explain what you're going to be arguing here?
Yes, hello, my name is SpyCalibur, and as you can see, I am representing Nugget inside because he could not make it today.
Let me know when you want me to start it.
You're good to go.
Here's Johnny.
I can still hear that voice.
What?
It's here!
gotta be fucking kidding.
Okay, Matt. I'm confused, but I'm sure you're going to have a good argument here. This seems like this is for Nugget's side about Pumpkin is a monster, but
It is not. I knew that it would be confusing.
I'll hear you out.
I will explain. So, let me. I'm just gonna get on the intro of my slideshow now. So, I couldn't exactly fit it into my argument in a way that I wanted to, but that video was just kind of meant to put everybody in a headspace of the ridiculousness of a pumpkin being a monster. I hope by the end of my argument you will see what I was going for with that. But if you don't right now, that is totally fine. I definitely have more to talk about. Okay, so, starting with my actual argument, because that was kind of just meant to get everybody into the headspace of sort of a pumpkin being a monster and it being ridiculous. The argument is pumpkins are monsters, or the statement that I am arguing against is that pumpkins are monsters. I am on the no side, and Spy is on the yes side. And I would like agreement there, if Spy would. Can you agree that we are arguing that? Or do you have any problem with the way that I have stated things? Is Spy still here?
Did we lose Spy as well?
I can't exactly go back to the Discord without fucking up the screen share.
Poor Map. Poor Map. She worked so hard on this presentation.
Let me see. No, he's still here. Spy, can you hear us? All right. Well, I'll just go forward without his agreement.
I mean, we're not going to do a
hopefully
Judge episode from chat, Muppet Man. I'm sorry. We're not going to do a Judge episode for chat. We need the other party to speak in the voice chat.
Is he here?
Winnings, would you like to represent? Are we crossing off it again? Nugget cross, Spy cross, Winnings.
I mean, I can edit it really quick if you want.
I'm here.
Okay.
Oh, you are here. Okay, perfect. Can you agree to the statement that we are arguing, me on the no side, you on the yes side, is that pumpkins are monsters?
Yeah, I do agree.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so now that we have agreed on what we are arguing, I'm going to go into the semantics a little bit about the statement pumpkins are monsters. So, in my opinion, the meaning of this statement is not all pumpkins are monsters or that pumpkins are always monsters, but there is something about pumpkins that is inherently monstrous, or it is in their nature. So that's what I am arguing against. And to further my argument, I will be giving some examples that I would compare this statement to, that I think you guys will all agree are equally ridiculous or more so. So this one's pretty well known, werewolves, but you wouldn't say that a wolf is a monster. So the crux of my argument is that wolves are not inherently monstrous, but there are monsters inspired by wolves, one of the more well-known one being a werewolf. So, maybe some of you are scared of wolves, and that's not convincing enough for you, and you're just like, wolves actually are kind of monstrous. Well, my next example, babies. And I think that a lot of you would be hard-pressed to say that babies are monsters. Maybe some of you don't like them. But I would argue that the baby on the left here is a normal baby, and that in general, as part of their nature, babies are not monsters, despite the one on the right clearly going against that. So,
Objection.
objection,
That
okay?
picture there is not a fucking baby.
Which one? The one on the right?
The monster.
The baby monster. It's from a movie called It's Alive, which is from the 1970s with a monster baby. I'll go
Okay.
on to my next example, though. If you're
Tim
not,
says
if you're
babies
not.
are 100% monsters to keep you up at night like many monsters.
Okay, well maybe you'll be convinced by my next example, okay? Let's not get too hung up on one example. Tires. So, a lot of you are familiar with the movie Rubber, wherein a tire goes around exploding people's heads. And you could argue that that specific tire is a monster. But to extrapolate that and say that all tires are monsters, or that tires are monsters in general, is silly and ridiculous. So now I'm going to go to our original statement, which is that pumpkins are monsters. And I will pose you the question that... I'm sorry, I lost my email. Okay. Are there monsters inspired by pumpkins? Yes, of course. But if we called everything that has inspired or could inspire a monster, then everything could be considered that. And if everything can be considered that, then the word loses meaning altogether. That's it.
Okay, that is Map's presentation so far. Spy, do you have anything, a presentation or anything that you would like to share?
Well, I was gonna. Oh, my bad. My doctor's texting me.
Now, I know Nugget has given me some evidence. If you would like me, I don't know if you have any evidence yourself that you would like to present here on your own, Spy, but Nugget has DM'd me some evidence for you to use in the form of a song. So I don't know if you would like to use that, or if you would like to say anything here on your own first.
May I use Nugget's evidence?
Yep. Let's get Nugget's evidence here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nugget has prepared a song for us called Pumpkin Monster Groove. So let's have a listen here.
In the patch it sits so round and sly, with a sneaky glint way up in the sky. Vines creeping slow like a phantom's hand, ready to take over all the land. When the moon is full and the night is bright, out comes the pumpkin in the dead of night. Glowing eyes and a sinister grin, an eerie chuckle starts to begin. It's the pumpkin monster, hear it roar, stomping pumpkins all over the floor. Hide your sweets and lock your door, or you'll be pumpkin pie for sure. No bedtime story can calm your fright when the pumpkin's lurking in the moonlight. Carved by witches with an ancient curse, each one more evil than the first. From the patch to your porch, it's on a quest, with a spooky laugh and a monster zest. It'll find you soon, no need to hide, cause it's got pumpkin power on its side. It's the pumpkin monster, hear it roar, stomping pumpkins all over the floor. Hide your sweets and lock your door, or you'll be pumpkin pie for sure. Monster, hear it roar, stomping pumpkins all over the floor. Hide your sweets and lock your door, or you'll be pumpkin pie for sure. No bedtime story can calm your fright when the pumpkin's lurking in the moonlight. Carved by witches with an ancient curse, each one more evil than the first. From the past to your porch, it's all a Christ with a spooky laugh and a monster zest. It'll find you soon, no need to hide, cause it's what pumpkin power on its side. It's the pumpkin monster, hear it roar, stomping pumpkins all over the floor. Hide your sweets and lock your door, or you'll be pumpkin pie for sure.
All right, that's Pumpkin Monster Groove, ladies and gentlemen. That is case that Pumpkin is a monster. So, Spy, what would you like to add to that? Our ratings are down on Judge, guys. Unfortunately, this is the lowest I've ever seen the ratings on the show.
Oh no.
We don't know if Judge is going to come back for season 3 now. I think we peaked. We peaked at Penis versus Vagina, and now the show is crashing and burning.
Wizard, come save the day.
I wonder if we should open up Emily's package instead.
Oh,
Hello? I just
Wizard?
oh, never mind.
No, I would like to call Wizard for a stand as a witness.
Okay,
convenient.
Wizard is, we got a guest appearance here from Wizard to argue on behalf of Spy.
So, Wizard, have you had any nightmares about pumpkins?
Yeah, so I actually, sorry, just to give you a little bit of background, I am actually the lead researcher on the Haunted Pumpkin Society. And yeah, I've actually been studying evil, monstrous pumpkins for many, many years. And I'll tell you right now, if you start studying them, they will invade your nightmares. And I'll tell you, I've had so many horrific nightmares because they literally have the power to come into people's nightmares and invade them. And trust me, you won't understand this because they don't do it to normal people. They only do it once you start trying to study them and find out their hidden powers. So people will be like, "Oh no, I've never had that happen." But trust me, you just start looking into them a little bit, you'll start having these most awful, horrendous nightmares about pumpkins.
Have there been any casualties from these haunted pumpkins?
Well, almost certainly. Now a lot of these deaths are not given, they're not put down to the pumpkins themselves. They're put down to other things like heart attacks. But it's honestly, our research shows that it's once people start looking into these pumpkins, they are so haunted by them that they start having horrific hallucinations, and it puts their blood pressure over the limit, and that's what causes them to have the heart attack. So the actual defining cause is the pumpkin.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Map, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
Yeah, so if I can just rebut the nightmares thing. My 4-year-old has nightmares all the time about cakes pooping and Yoshi pooping, and that doesn't make Yoshi or Cake a monster. Just saying.
That is true. That is true.
Well, as my witness said, once you study these pumpkins, you start hallucinating, having dreams about them, making them invade your mind. Maybe it's not with, like, Yoshi, but with pumpkins, it's something else.
Do you know the joke where a doctor says, "Hey, stop doing that"? Like you just like, "Oh, doctor, it hurts when I do this," and he's like, "Hey, stop doing that." Wiz should probably stop studying pumpkins. Think it's driving him a little cuckoo.
I have not heard of this joke before, but maybe Wizard can explain again what he means when the pumpkins invade your mind.
So pumpkins are basically evil demons, and to normal people they don't appear to be anything more than just a vegetable. But once you actually start looking into them, they actually start exhibiting their intense demonic powers upon your soul. And this is why normal people don't even see this. They're always there corrupting us slowly but surely, but like they have this power. When you start really looking into them, they obviously want to retaliate. They don't want people to find this out about them. And yeah, they basically corrupt the soul at a base level. And you start hallucinating, you start having nightmares. And people just start passing away or having like horrendous medical incidents. It's pretty honestly. It's not like it's pretty well studied in our monstrous pumpkin society. So
I'm completely speechless on this topic right now. I don't even know what to say. I have no experience on on pumpkins being a monster, or not.
I can provide you with go to www.com, thepumpkinmonstersociety.co.nz, and trust me, we got links there.
Is this an actual
website? We will
website?
show you the evidence. We will show you the evidence.
Is this an actual website?
I do not recommend actually typing in that web address.
We're not going to do that. We might get the show might get canceled if we put that on. So
yeah, because they will start invading the soul live on stream.
Okay, yeah, it is an actual link.
It is an actual link. Is it safe to show on stream?
I mean, if you want your mind to be invaded by these pumpkins, then sure.
It's not safe.
I got conflicting information from this side over here. We have the defendant saying that it's safe. We have the lawyers saying that it's not safe.
I'm not the lawyer. I'm the expert witness.
Oh, the expert witness. That's correct. Hashtag MPS. Is that Mario Party Superstars? I don't know what it has to do with pumpkins. I know Mario Party Superstars is a monstrous game. It's kind of scary.
Monster Pumpkin Society.
It's Monsters Pumpkin. Oh, okay. Breaking news. We're getting a DM. Actually, one of our producers is waving me off from the side of the... We got a letter from Raging Ryan. Oh, what are those birds that come in? Those telegraph birds are flying right in right now to my window with an exclusive message. And he says, no. That is his response. You didn't have to telegraph bird that.
Why is he... Dude, he's not showing up for this. And his only... Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Gonna hold myself back.
Okay, let's get back on topic. Map. Okay, let's talk more about why pumpkins are not monsters.
Sure, yeah, so their main argument seems to be that there's like they have like this authority over us normies, that they have like a secret cult or society that knows more about pumpkins being monsters than us. I don't believe in a lot of, like cult-like stuff, and I don't think that bodes well. Like saying that you're just more intelligent or educated on this than the rest of us. I don't like that.
Spy and Wizard, do you have a counter to this?
Well, you don't believe like pumpkins are monsters, and you think that this is a cult, but it's not really a cult. It's just lots and lots of researchers researching about a pumpkin, or more than one pumpkin actually.
Every cult says they're not a cult, for
Monsters.
the record.
And I also have a video of a victim of these demon pumpkins.
Oh, we have a video. Do we have video evidence?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's bring up the evidence here.
I'm just gonna DM you a link so I don't know how to like.
Okay. Okay, we have some evidence here from Spy. It's entitled Pumpkinhead. Let's take a look and see what we have. Bring it up for the jury to see, and let me just move WiseWizard over here so he's not in the way of the video. And here we go.
Trick or treat.
Okay, well that's proof in the pudding. If that doesn't prove that a pumpkin's not a monster, I don't know what will.
Disagree.
Map, what do you have to say about this? Muppet
Yeah,
says
so
objection.
that kind of...
What's your objection, Muppet?
I don't object to it. I would rather just argue with it, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
This
Argue
goes-
it.
Yeah, this goes back to my original argument that you can have a monster inspired by almost anything. In fact, I would argue that almost every monster that exists is inspired by something naturally occurring, or maybe not naturally occurring is the right word, but some type of outside figure. Like werewolves are inspired by wolves, vampires are inspired by bats and humans together. Frankenstein, I don't really know what he's inspired by, an idiot. But but basically that is a monster inspired by a pumpkin that is not just a pumpkin.
Okay.
It's
If
a
you
monster that isn't a pumpkin. Is that what you're saying?
One more time?
Are you saying that is a monster inspired by a pumpkin?
Yes, I am saying that a monster inspired by a pumpkin is different than saying a pumpkin is a monster. One is saying that in general there is something inherently monstrous about pumpkins, that statement. And the other one is saying that a pumpkin can inspire a monster. Again, anything can inspire a monster. A puppy can inspire a monster. You can have a monster puppy. That doesn't make puppies monsters.
I mean, by that argument, technically everything could be considered a monster then.
Exactly. That was exactly my argument in the slideshow that I probably didn't get across right because I have so much nervous energy right now.
So if everything is considered a monster, does that mean nothing is considered a monster?
Yeah, I think if you consider everything a monster, it dumbs down the word. It makes the word completely meaningless.
Muppet says, I was going to object something, but Map said everything I was going to say. Okay. Jamie says she understands your argument. If everything can be considered a monster, then a pumpkin can be considered a monster, says Wizard.
Sure, but if everything can be considered a monster, then the word loses all meaning.
Ostrich says monster can be pumpkin, but not all pumpkin can be monster.
Exactly.
Who wants to take that comment? Wizard and Spy?
Well,
Yes,
I'm
no witness, man.
no Muppet. You could not Muppet. Wizard. Say what we're gonna say.
Well, I have to respond to questions. I'm a witness.
Do you agree with Muppets? No. I keep on saying fucking Muppet, man, because he's in the VC. Do you agree with Map's statement?
Was it not Ostrich's statement? Monster can be pumpkin, but not all pumpkin can be monster. Is that the statement that we're on right now?
No. Anything can be based, like any monster can be based by something.
I'm a little confused on the question. Can you phrase it, please?
That anything can be any monster can be inspired by something. Like a dog can be a monster. Do you agree with that statement?
Sorry, do you mean anything can be? Sorry, all monsters are inspired by something. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I think what he's asking was the last thing that Map said was, if a pumpkin can be a monster, then anything can be a monster. Therefore, nothing is a monster.
Well, no. The question is about whether a pumpkin is a monster. Now, if everything could be considered a monster, then a pumpkin is a monster. You can say that the word loses meaning, but that actually doesn't really change the fact that it still is considered a monster. It loses meaning, so be it. But it loses meaning after objectively being a monster.
I think the word loses meaning means the statement doesn't mean anything anymore, though. Like,
Well, obviously it does, because that's what the whole argument's about.
Let's see. We got a question for pumpkin as a monster here. So a monster is considered. Well, we saw Spy bring to the table a clip of a creature with a pumpkin head. Now, if the pumpkin itself did not have a body and it was just a pumpkin rolling around like a tire, would it still be considered a monster if it was just a pumpkin without a body or anything
who are you
else?
asking?
I guess I'm asking Spy and Wizard, right? Because they're on Team Pumpkin's a monster. So I'm just saying, if you take away the body, if you take away the entity, the physical form of that embodies the pumpkin being able to walk around as shown in their footage, and you're left with just the head rolling around, is that considered a monster?
I mean, well, let's say the head's like floating. Then would you consider that a monster? I would, because nothing can really float that I know of. Maybe Wizard knows, he's more on the he's more of an expert on these demon pumpkins.
Yeah, so
I
the
wouldn't know.
actual in that clip, that was actually a clip that was generated based off a description of the haunting tales that people that have actually been haunted by pumpkins have told. And one thing you need to understand about pumpkins, and we're just going into biology here. We're not even going to be talking about any kind of conceptual things. Pumpkins have these crazy roots that actually genuinely quite invasive and actually attack other plants that are planted nearby. And that is what those bodies of those monstrous pumpkins in that clip you saw are based off. Literally, a pumpkin is a monster in biology, in the world. It is a monster to the other plants that live around it. Those roots, they go deep, they entangle and destroy and kill all the other plants that are around that pumpkin. It kills all the other plants around it so it can grow bigger. There is a reason that that people there's a reason that it's a Halloween thing. It is based off real things, man. It kills all things around it, and that includes people if you let it.
That's a good point. What do you have to say about that, Map?
So can I circle back to asking you what your original question that you asked them was?
My original question was, if you take away the body of the pumpkin and you just leave the actual head of the pumpkin or the fruit or the vegetable and just sitting there on the porch, regardless of whether flies or not, is you take away because obviously you could add a body to anything and make it a monster, but I was wondering what their argument would be is if you took away the actual physical entity of the body itself, the creature itself, and just left with the pumpkin. I did like the point about it being an invasive species growing roots, and I would like you to touch base on that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. First, I'm going to touch base on whether I would define it as a monster, if it didn't have a body. I would define it by the actions that it can take. For instance, I use the movie Rubber. That's literally just a rubber tire. It doesn't have any sort of body or there's nothing added to it. It's just a rubber tire, but it explodes people's minds. So a pumpkin in real life, as far as I know, outside of this bullshit secret society cult that these guys have formed, has not done any monstrous actions or exploded anybody's minds, or anything along those lines. As far as it being an invasive species, yeah, you could make the argument that it is hostile towards other plants. I still don't think that I would in general call that even monstrous or anywhere close to monstrous. I don't really consider that the same thing. So here's another example that didn't end up making it into my slideshow. But if any of you have watched The Evil Dead, there is a tree that does some pretty evil actions. I would consider that tree a monster, but I would not consider all trees monsters because of it. In fact, trees are very helpful towards us.
I mean, if that particular tree is a monster, what's from stopping saying a monster or a pumpkin in a Halloween folklore tale meant for entertainment purposes cannot be a monster as well?
Again, I'm not saying a pumpkin can never be a monster. I am fighting against the fact or the statement that there is something inherently monstrous about pumpkins. That statement is false to me.
Okay. Jury, do you guys have any questions for either side that you would like to ask? Let me know if anybody in the jury has any questions. I'm sorry. This is a very confusing. I didn't. I man, when I got the script from every single episode of Judge sent to me last week ahead of time to review, my jaw hit the floor when I saw Pumpkin as a monster. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't even know if we had a case here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I was about to throw this one out the window. Tim says, the statement under your name says a pumpkin is not a monster. Not all pumpkins are not monsters.
I was gonna put my response in chat, but I can say it real quick if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, a pumpkin, again, is a general statement. It does not mean all pumpkins, but it does mean there is something inherently monstrous about pumpkins, i.e., they would be going against their nature if they were not monsters. And I argue that pumpkins, in general, as they are just a gourd. They're just a vegetable. There's nothing scary about them. You don't go to a pumpkin patch and say, ah!
I mean, to counteract that, I should be letting the other team do their
Yeah,
own
you
work,
should be.
but
Judge.
I just feel like this team needs help. This team really needs help.
I don't need help. I just need Spy to ask me the right questions.
Just to kind of counteract Map's statement there, there's nothing scary about a pumpkin. Why do people carve pumpkins for Halloween and put it on their porch? Why do
I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually going to be my next question to ask, Matt.
Okay, yeah.
Sure, I can
go
answer
ahead.
that. It is because pumpkins are harvested in the fucking fall, and they're one of the only fucking vegetables that are. Also, they're really easy to carve.
Tim says,
You said they're really easy to
Wizard
carve.
did say that pumpkins were naturally destructive, so that would be monstrous behavior. What do you have to say about that?
I disagree. I think humans are naturally destructive. I would not call a human a monster by nature.
That's debatable.
I wouldn't say that humans, in general, are monstrous. There are definitely monstrous humans. I would argue that as well. That's another argument, I guess, but I would argue that.
Ostrich, did you have a long form question that you're still working on there? We'd love to hear it. Tim seems to think the case is closed. Spy or Wizard, do you have any final things that you would like to add?
I mean, if I'm allowed to make a comment without my lawyer asking me a question, then I'm more than happy to make a comment, but I'm trying to do this professionally.
You can.
All right. I don't know if that's your decision, but okay. So I just want to point out that monsters. Okay, I think that like monster has this certain like, you know, when you think of monster, you think of a werewolf. You think of like a, you know, some scary, crazy thing. But a monster isn't just limited to an animal or like some thing from fiction. The definition of a monster is just something that is extraordinary, right? It's something outside of the norm. You know, it could be like something extraordinarily big, something extraordinarily like just bizarre. And I really think when you look at a pumpkin, it is an extraordinary vegetable. It is not a normal vegetable. It grows way bigger than most other vegetables. It has like these crazy roots that like attack and destroy all the other things around it. This is not normal behavior. It's an extraordinary vegetable. It is not something that other vegetables do. It is absolutely obscure. It's like a one-of-a-kind thing within nature, right? And that is why it's gained this reputation. Like, why else would people make it like a horror movie kind of scary thing? It is based on the reality of what it is, right? It's like if you're saying that only like animals and stuff can become monsters, or like you know, only like living scary things. Well, you know, we've got loads of other examples, right? It's like a gargoyle or something like that could be a monster, right? It doesn't have to be living to be a monster. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree with wizard here. He said like pumpkins are like abnormal. They're not like yeah. Like the biggest pumpkin is 2,749 pounds or 1,247 kg. Like that's pretty abnormal to me. I don't know if it is to you, but like they don't really behave as other vegetables do.
That is true. Map says, I don't think destructive equals monstrous. Interesting. Ostrich says, if we're talking about the term monster in a fictitious sense, then you could subjectively say, for the sake of creativity, that anything is a monster. So rubber is a good example. You can call a tire a monster if you want to. It's all up to the eye of the beholder. I think this is directed at you, Map. You want to answer this?
Yeah, in a sense, I agree with you. I think I would just more of argue the semantics. So you can call that tire a monster, but if you say a tire is a monster, that is saying, it's not saying again that all tires are monsters. That's not what I'm saying that it's saying. It's saying that a tire in its nature inherently is a monster, which I don't agree with. It otherwise, like, why is it even revolutionary to make rubber? Like,
Well, that really
that's
depends.
what
What do you
tires fucking
define?
do.
What do you define as a monster?
Yeah, and I actually kind of wanted to bring up that I've been looking at definitions and I don't see anything about like what exactly Wizard said there, that it's just about it being and what exactly did you say? I'm sorry, like out of the norm. It like all the definitions I'm getting specifically say a creature that is typically large, ugly, and frightening. Like it all mentions creature or like I'm not seeing anything about what you said.
Well, the video I sent, that's a creature which looks ugly, scary, and whatever. Oh, well, not whatever.
Agree. I agree.
Yeah.
That is a monster inspired by a pumpkin. I agree.
I would recommend, like, obviously, like, the first definition in the dictionary is not always, like, often words have multiple definitions, and I feel like you look up, for example, I don't know, I guarantee that one of the definitions, maybe not the first one, but one of the definitions of monster is something that is abnormal, 100%.
If you can find that definition for me on a reputable site, fine. I will give that to you. But no. I am looking at multiple definitions, not just the first one, thank you, sir. And it is not that.
Lol Sussy says, a pumpkin is not a monster unless you carve it into a monster. Monster side, what do you have to say about that?
There you go. I don't know how reputable this site is, but this does appear to be a reputable site, and that is the third definition down.
We have
literally says a malformed animal or plant. That is a living thing.
Well, how is that not? How is that not?
That's not what you
not
said.
describable
You
pumpkin?
said abnormal. Just something abnormal. That's not what you said.
We
Well,
have evidence here. I know you probably can't read it on the
regardless, it still
screen,
describes
but
pumpkin.
definition 3A indicates a malformed animal or plant, a fetus, neonate, or individual with a gross congenital malformation, usually of a degree incapable with life.
Also, pumpkins in their normal sense, I would argue, are not malformed either. By definition, they're not malformed.
Yes, welcome in everyone that's just joining us. This is Judge. You guys have missed some amazing episodes. We're scuffing our way through this one.
Sorry, I'm getting a little defensive.
But you guys are gonna have to catch the YouTube series. Psycho, Sussy, anyone that's coming in, you guys are gonna have to catch the YouTube series. We had penis versus vagina. We had is Viper mid, yes or no. We're attempting is a pumpkin a monster, yes or no, right now, currently. And I think, honestly, we're ready to wrap this episode up. So we're going to go to each side, and I would like you guys to wrap up your cases before we put it to a vote to the public. Spy and Wizard, if you guys would like to put your end statements together on why you guys think a pumpkin is a monster.
This is Spy. I'm just a witness. I'm out.
Yeah, just like sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt real quick, but Map said that a monster that she could not find a definition of a monster being not abnormal, but AI overview on Google says yes, the definition of a monster inherently implies something abnormal.
I think you literally just asked Google, is a monster abnormal? That doesn't make it the definition.
Okay, Matt, would you like to sum up your closing statements here?
Sure, yeah. So I think I pretty much said everything, but just to, I think the biggest part of the opposing argument that I had a problem with was this like secret cult society that they formed where they thought they knew better than everybody, and that pumpkins were actually monsters and haunting them in their sleep or whatever. I don't like that. I don't like that they think they have secret information that is unknown to the public. And it sounds like a load of conspiracy horseshit to me. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open up the poll. I think that's enough about pumpkin as a monster, yes or no. You guys are going to decide who did it better. Let's cut to commercial, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. After that episode of nonsense, I need to wind the fuck down. That was so silly. Is a pumpkin a monster, yes or no? I can't believe we got into debating that. You know what I like to do in my downtime? As silly as that episode was, it's not as good as Silly String. You know what you could do with Silly String, ladies and gentlemen? You could do so many fun things with Silly String. I need to de-silly from the silliness of that argument. Like that. And that. You can try it too. Silly String. Coming soon to a dollar store near you. All right, back to the show. After hearing the other side of things, honestly, I personally think Spy and Wiz, as scuffed as it was, had a better debate. But hey, you guys decided. Map won. Map. I'm not very creative tonight, so would you like to come up with a punishment for these boys?
Yeah, they get stuffed inside of a huge-ass pumpkin. What did he say the biggest pumpkin was?
I don't know, 2,000 pounds, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, you get to live inside of a huge-ass pumpkin.
179 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spy, you have to go sleep in the 2,000-pound pumpkin for the rest of your life. Boom! Case dismissed. And we're gonna roll the credits, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.